This is Avalanche Badookie the 11th. You may be wondering, what position does he play? He plays cornerback with the number 99 from Alaska, a small town that he didn't have a high school to go to, so he went to a community college. This was the only way he could showcase his talents. With Avalanche Badookie the 11th absolutely going ballistic at the community college, he absolutely picked up preferred walk-ons from a lot of college schools, and he's going to commit to Vanderbilt. After Avalanche Badookie the 11th absolutely picked to be a preferred walk-on at Vanderbilt, and coming from a community college, it's going to be kind of hard for him because he really didn't have competition to go against, but he absolutely came out to practice intense. I mean, he had 2 tackles already and absolutely almost had his first interception. But coach said, next week, son, you can challenge for that next string. The Avalanche Badookie the 11th being 4th on that depth chart, but absolutely getting a chance to get on special teams. Bam! Oh my God! He absolutely laid that boom and said, coach, you need to put me in that game. But he went right to the sideline, watching all his teammates, and finally gets a chance in the second quarter before halftime, and they absolutely throw a touchdown. That's not a good look when you first get into the game. But with it being 19-14, coach put me back in the game, and bam, another big hit from Avalanche Badookie the 11th. Coming back down on special teams, he said he wanted all the action. Bam! Oh my God! And we go on to win the game, and Avalanche Badookie ends the game off with 4 total tackles. That's a backup. Avalanche Badookie the 11th being a preferred walk-on and also being 4th on the depth chart and touching the field is a blessing. Now he gets a position battle against Jay Lucien to get that number 3 spot on the depth chart, and guess what? He wins it. He is now the number 3 cornerback. Going into the second game of the season, Avalanche Badookie the 11th got a little too excited. He absolutely hit the returner while he was fair catching the ball, which was a flag, and coach was upset with that. But bam! I said I'll make up for it, coach. I made him fumble that ball, and we recovered it. And I told coach I wouldn't fail him again. And absolutely when he got another tackle on special teams, I mean, give me special teams player of the week. Bam! Oh my God, that wasn't a big hit, but I still got another hit and almost blocked that field goal. After doing my part on special teams, coach gave me the chance on defense, and I make my second collegiate tackle. And on 3rd and 11, I was in zone, and oh my God, almost first interception, but I dropped it. I ended the game off with 6 total tackles and 1 forced fumble. Slowly but surely, Avalanche Badookie the 11th, oh my God, one-hand interception is moving up the depth chart against T. Russell. With that first interception, he won it already. Coach said you can have that spot, and I took it with my second interception. Get off of me, son. I'm running down that sideline too, but I absolutely get boomed. Coming around that corner, boom, boy, get behind the line of scrimmage. I'm now number 2 on the depth chart. Going into our next game against South Carolina, being named the number 2 cornerback, bam, oh my God, this is a great start. And we hold him to 3 as a defense early on, but that was absolutely too much. But on 2nd and 10, bam, they're gonna fill you all night, Avalanche Badookie the 11th. But getting tripped up in man-to-man, this wide receiver caught him lacking and went and scored a touchdown, which wasn't great for him. But on 1st and goal, he was sitting in man-to-man again, and they threw it to the other side. They are not playing with us. We have to turn the switch on at some time, and guess what? Avalanche Badookie the 11th turned it on. He said, I'm gonna take this to the crib. Since offense can't get it done, juke. Oh my God, what are you doing on the ground? Get up. Touchdown. With that being said, the switch is turned on. They threw it Avalanche Badookie away again. He said, no sir, no fly zone my way. And on 3rd and 10, he almost picked it off, but guess what? His teammate picked it off. Let's go. Some things you just have to let go, but with Avalanche Badookie the 11th having a great game, we're going to lose our first one, 14-20. But Avalanche is the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 interception. And a community college kid coming in as a preferred walk-on. The time is here. Going against the number 1 cornerback, B. Anderson. Oh my God, he almost intercepts that. It's time to take his spot. And as you can see, I get a blitz and hit him in that backfield, and that will win me the position battle. I am now the number 1 cornerback. Kids pray for times like this. Avalanche Badookie the 11th is now the number 1 cornerback at Vanderbilt, and the game didn't start out too well. Georgia Southern took it to the house. Avalanche is just the game changer. He went all the way across the field and absolutely made a great tackle, but on 1st and 10, he tried to send a blitz, and I don't know what Avalanche was doing because they took that to the house. And ever since Avalanche Badookie the 11th became a starter, bam, oh my God, these teams have been getting big starts against us. And, oh my God, this kid is crazy. He gets an interception, and could he go? Yes, he will go. Oh my God, he gets shoestring tackle, but he was still fired up. But on 1st and 10, he was sitting in that zone and said he wants another one. Give me that. Gimme. But one thing the Avalanche Badookie the 11th promised the coach, he said he will be the number 1. Oh my God, he gets a sack. Interception leader, and he almost had another interception, but on 3rd and 4, he absolutely turns that corner and takes it all all the way to the crib. But as you can see, they get down and score again. It's now 28-28. We going to overtime, but bam, I told this quarterback, don't run that ball again. And son, you not getting no fly zone coming my way. Bam, I'm going to teach you a lesson, son. I'm going to give you a headache, and I promise you won't run that ball my way ever again. They kicked 3, and we did not convert. They go on and win the ball game. But Avalanche Badookie 11 is having a great game. He ends the game off with 11 total tackles and 2 interceptions. Going into our next game after having a great game against UAB, I'm telling you, we was rallying that ball. And on 3rd and 15, the quarterback threw it right to me, and I'm telling you, I'm going to be number 1 in being the interception leader. And I gave all praises to the Most High, because being a preferred walk-on and coming from a community college, oh my God, I let him get up that field, but it's a blessing, I'm telling you. And on 1st and 10, I was sitting back in my zone again, and I about had another one, but I tried to script that ball. And on 2nd and 11, this quarterback ran it in, absolutely ran me over to get in the end zone, but I came down and laid another big hit and forced the fumble and got up and said, yes sir, let me do my jiggy jiggy. And on 2nd and 4, I came around that corner, boom, get that ball out, and my teammates picked it up again, and guess what, he gonna take it all the way to the house, and I was hyped up. After absolutely having 3 game-changing plays, boom, this boy crazy, mama, I'm telling you, and he go get a sack, oh my God. After having a great game, he gets player of the game with 8 total tackles. After having a magnificent game, going into our next game against Missouri, I laid a big hit early on, and on 4th and 2, we tried to stop him, but they punched that ball in, and they went to score on us early, and that's not good. And I mean, he hit that corner, and I sealed the edge to make sure he didn't get no more yards. But come around that corner again, I said I'm gonna lay that boom all night, so you better not do it again. And oh my God, always being the game changer, Avalanche Badookie the 11th takes the pick 6 to the house. But on 1st and 10, they throw it not his way, and he goes all the way across the field to make a tackle. I mean, that athleticism, oh my God, almost has another interception, but they draw it down again, and guess what? They punch it in for 6. It's now 14-14. Boom, I'm gonna meet you in that backfield, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be a brick wall. Boom, oh my God, I'm gonna hit you with my head this time, son. And on 3rd and 9, let's go get a sack. Oh my God. But not being in my zone, the wide receiver absolutely catches it for 6, and I was absolutely disappointed in myself. But on 2nd and 4, I came around that corner again and laid another big hit. But with it coming down to the wire, Avalanche Badookie the 11th against this number 7, he won the battle. He went up and got it, and we going to lose the game. I ended the game off for 8 total tackles. Into our next game against Georgia, it's going to be a big game, but Avalanche Badookie the 11th absolutely dropped interception early, but absolutely laid a big hit and forced that fumble. That's the way to start the game. There's one thing special about this kid. Every time you come watch him, you know he gonna have a highlight reel the whole game. Bam, oh my God. Lays a big hit behind the line of scrimmage. And on 1st and 10, just sitting in his zone, he intercepts that ball, and will he return it? Oh my God, catches his balance. Juke, oh my God, they rallied that ball, but he could not stay up. But on 1st and 10, boom, oh my God, absolutely got ran over, but that's how you put your body on the line and go get another sack. He is crazy, but he gets player of the game with 6 total tackles and 2 sacks. On to our next game against Texas A&M, I absolutely came down and laid a big hit on this Donovan Green receiver and absolutely stared him down. But on 1st and 10, you're not throwing the ball my way, so throw it out of bounds like you did. Bam, oh my God, that's a hit stick. And on 3rd and 10, you throw that ball, oh my God, that's almost a one-hand interception. But I didn't have a so well game, but he ends the game off for 4 total tackles. To our next game against the number 19 seed Florida Gators, and I'm not gonna lie, this number 4 burnt me early on in the game, so we ordered them to 3, which was very good. And on 3rd and 3, I came down and absolutely got him behind the line of scrimmage with my teammate. And on 3rd and 1, this dude routed me up, but guess what? They didn't give me the interception somehow, some way. I mean, Avalanche Badookie 11 just didn't go get it, but I was not in my zone, and I told you this number 4 was giving me trouble all game. And when somebody pissed me off, it get real ugly. Avalanche Badookie 11 picks it off on the extra point conversion, and he could and he would go all the way to the crib to put 2 points on the board for his team. But as you can see, they drive back down and kick 3 again, and we going to lose another game, but he ends the game off with only 4 total tackles. On to our next game against 5-4 Kentucky did not start off well. They punched that ball in early on, but on 3rd and 6, you don't throw it Avalanche Badookie the 11th way. He intercepts that ball. He absolutely gets put to the ground as soon as he catches it, but he was fired up. And on 3rd and 2, he will meet him outside, but throw him kind of towards the end zone, so they're now on the 1-yard line. And I think Avalanche Badookie had a brain fart. But on 3rd and 6, he said, give me that. He will intercept that ball, catch his balance, break one tackle, break it out, but they will rally that ball. And he said, let me go get this to my mama. And on 1st and 10, he was in his zone again, and he said, give me that again. And this time, he's trying to find that end zone. He tried to juke, but they will put him down. And with that interception, he breaks the school interception record. And that's crazy from the story that he has. But he ends the game off with 2 total tackles and 3 interceptions. Going into our next game against the Tennessee Vols, you might not know, but Avalanche Badookie the 11th played D-line in Little League, and he stared that quarterback down. And on 3rd and 1, he was in a man-to-man coverage and absolutely got burnt, but he will put him down. And on 2nd and 9, bam, oh my God, this quarterback might be hurt. And on 4th and 1, he was sitting in his zone again and almost one-hand interception, but we will force that turnover. And on 3rd and 2, let me go help my teammate out and throw him on the ground. And on 1st and 10, he was absolutely in man-to-man and almost intercepted, but he dropped it. And on 2nd and 10, he said, can I get one? No, he will not, but his teammate will pick it up, and he ends the game off with 5 total tackles. Going into our next game against Wake Forest, oh my God, this should be a blowout, and that should have been a pick 6 to the house. But on 1st and 10, that quarterback said, I'm going to take this thing to the house, and he absolutely got a gain of too much, but absolutely got another tackle and got up and said, let's go, man, we got to get this game started. These boys got way too much, and they think they could play with us. I'm going to drill every single one of them. I'm not going to play with them. Avalanche Badookie 11 is turned up, but he absolutely misses the tackle, and this quarterback is just special. I mean, he will, and he could get hawked down by my teammates, but not sitting in my zone. Boom, reading the play, absolutely read it. Oh my God. Boom, hit down quarterback. You're not going anywhere. Boom, I'm not gonna play with any of you. Boom, oh my God. Avalanche Badookie, the 11th, is going insane, but they will score. We're going to win the ball game, and he ends the game off for 12 total tackles. After winning 7 games and getting a ticket to be invited to a bowl game, Avalanche Badookie the 11th was blessed, but he makes a tackle, and he was not here to play. On 1st and 10, he was in his zone, but they throw a touchdown. I mean, what are we doing? I absolutely wasn't in my zone and let up another touchdown, and going into the next play, he had a slant route and absolutely hit him as soon as he caught the ball. But going into the next play, I tried to seal the edge, and bam, oh my God, I absolutely sealed it with a hit stick. But sitting in my zone again, they throw it the other way and score again. It's now 21-17. We have to do something. He runs that ball outside. Come here, boy. I'm not going to play with y'all anymore. I'm sitting in my zone. Nope. I'm trying to take interceptions. But on 1st and 10, I tried to go get a sack, and this wide receiver absolutely said he was taking this to the crib, but no. Badookie said, I'm going to go get you. But going, boom, oh my God. He is not playing. Tried to get an interception, but they throw it to their team, and it's now 31-38 overtime. And with Badookie losing outside containment and thinking he was going to run outside, he took it back inside. But oh my God, missing another tackle. It's 38-38 overtime. They take it to the crib, but guess what? We go on and lose, and things were not in our favor. But this is the end of Avalanche Badookie the 11th freshman season, and he was #1 in interceptions, but will he return to Vanderbilt, or will coach not give him any scholarship money and let him go? The Avalanche Badookie the 11th story being a roller coaster as a preferred walk-on at Vanderbilt, he chooses to stay 1 more year. Going into the first practice was a rainy one, but he was sitting in his zone, and as you can see, he came down, did not let it boom, but threw him to the grab a boom. Oh my God. Coach said, son, you gotta stop hitting that quarterback so hard or I will take you off the roster. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got routed up, but coach said, good job practicing. You're in no danger of losing that starting position. The Avalanche Badookie the 11th going into his first game of his sophomore season this year has to be a year to remember. And on 1st and 10, Avalanche goes and get a tackle for loss, and he said, no, y'all not going nowhere, and I want all the smoke. And on 1st and 10, he was sitting in man-to-man. Boom, oh my God, he absolutely saved that cornerback's life. But on 2nd and 10, he goes up and get his first interception of his sophomore season. And that boy said, I'm not even hyped up. They shouldn't have drove down the field. But on 1st and 10, oh my God, that's how you lay that wood. On 3rd and 10, oh my God, Avalanche could have had an interception if he would have came in front of that receiver. But as you can see, we will hold that offense to 3 points. And we said, this time, we're going to go out there and you all are not going to get anything. Oh my God. Reading the screen, Avalanche gets his 2nd interception of his sophomore season. He said, y'all boys cannot hold me. He He goes on to get player of the game with 5 total tackles and 2 interceptions. Going into our next game against Georgia Southern, as you can see on 3rd and 4, I absolutely nearly had an interception, but I will drop him as soon as he caught that ball. And on 1st and 10, I went to help my teammates because they somehow couldn't get this big fella down. So I went to go help him, and on 1st and 10, they were driving down the field, and I pretty much didn't like it. Avalanche Badookie 11 said he has to make a change, and oh my God, he lets up a touchdown. He nearly had an interception, but on 3rd and 9, he said, I got y'all boys. I'm going to put it in a box when I catch it this time. Going into the next play, on 1st and 10, I'm telling you, if I would have got a little faster, I would have caught that ball. But on 1st and 10, oh my God, made him do a split. What is he doing? And I absolutely stared him down. Oh my God. But we going to win the game. He ends the game off with 5 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 2-1 Wake Forest, they're not even in our conference. So as you can see, I went and got a sack early. Avalanche Badookie 11 on 2nd and 11. Bam! Oh my God. That's how you lay a boom to shove his head down and get up like the man. And on 1st and goal, I caught him outside. That's how you keep outside containment when your DN don't. But on 4th and goal, we will make them absolutely kick a field goal. They were not getting in the box. But on 3rd and 12, I came down and absolutely weren't in my right zone, but he still didn't catch the ball. So guess what? They kicked 3 again. We're not letting them score a touchdown. On 3rd and 12, this wide receiver had a slant route. Avalanche Badookie 11 said, no sir, no fly zone my way. You will not catch a ball on me. And on 1st and 10, that's how you hawk the quarterback down before he gets started. Oh my God, that's 2 sacks on the game. And on 2nd and 10, they have another read option, but bam, got somebody. On 4th and 5, Avalanche Badookie 11th is in a man-to-man, and we go and get a turnover down, so we will win the ball game. He is a game off for 7 total tackles and 1 sack. Going into our next game against the number 14 seed South Carolina on 3rd and 9, it's time to put them to an end and give them their first L. But as you can see, Avalanche Badookie 11th gets his first interception of the game, and he was hyped up. But on 2nd and 11, he said, no, not just one. Give me that ball again. I promise you, this quarterback will not throw that ball my way. And he's still trying to find that end zone, but he just can't. He's going down the bench and saying, yes, sir, I appreciate all y'all. Let's go get a sack. Oh, my God. Coach said, that's my man. But oh, my God, almost a one-hand interception. And so I get that ball out of there. Y'all boys is not catching the ball on me. Avalanche Badookie 11 gets his 3rd interception of the game. And this time, oh, my God, he was trying to find his way to that end zone, but he was hyped up. He goes on to get player of the game with 2 tackles and 3 interceptions. After taking out South Carolina, we are now ranked number 24 in the nation. And as you can see, didn't start off well going against Ole Miss. But oh my God, how, Avalanche? How did you drop that interception? But as you can see, we get these boys to punt us the ball back, and it was time for our offense to march down that field, and they will do. But as you can see on 1st and 10, oh my God, I stumbled over my feet, and this quarterback, he could and he would get up that field, but we finally get him. Boom, oh my God, I knocked that ball out, but no one got it. On 1st and 10, this running back hits that outside, and he could go all the way. Going against an 0-5 team is not starting off well. We couldn't imagine it like this, but as you can see, oh my God, Avalanche with the interception, he will go down. With that interception right there, Avalanche Badookie 11 breaks the 15 interception record of Casey Hayward with 16. Oh my God. And on 1st and 10, he almost had a one-hand interception, but he made the tackle. And on 4th and 11, he throws it to his other receiver, and they find the end zone. And bam, God almighty, that's how you lay someone flat out. But we just didn't give up. We tried to kick an onside kick, and they absolutely recovered it. And they will give us our first L of the season. And Badookie, he wasn't too happy of that, but he ends the game off with 7 total tackles. After losing that game last week, going into the week's practice, we did not have a great practice, and Badookie absolutely got ran over, and that's not like him. And on 1st and 10, oh my God, a one-hand interception. He made up for it for sure. Absolutely celebrated with his team, but on 1st and 10, he kind of let up a touchdown, but bam, oh my God, that's a way to make up for it. And on 1st and 10, he said he wants another one, and he could. Oh my God, when he made that corner, he will hit that outside, and Badookie could go. Oh my God, he gets hawked down, but he was still fired up. He said, don't throw that ball my way. Bam, oh my God, that's how you take ACL, MCL out. Bam, oh my God, that's how you give someone a headache and not remember the next day. And on 4th and 3, oh my God, Tony Toe Tapper, Avalanche Badookie 11th, 3rd interception of the game, and he now breaks the school interception record with 10 interceptions of his career. With all the great highlights of the game, on 3rd and goal, the Florida Gators drive down the field, and they will score on us and give us our 2nd L in a row. And we go on to end the game off with 4 total tackles and 3 interceptions. Things are not going well. After losing 2 games back-to-back, we we are not even ranked anymore. Georgia goes down and score on us early on. But on 1st and 10, bam, oh my God, that's how you clean someone clock early on. And on 3rd and 2, I was in a man-to-man. He had an out route, but I absolutely picked that ball. I said, sir, I'm going to get an interception every game, so you're just another check on my list, and I'm going to take that interception. Bam, oh my God, I almost made you do a backflip, kid. Going into the next one on 3rd and 8, he absolutely break my teammate tackle, so I take ACL, MCL out and made him fall on his face, and I said, hey, I got him. With this running back, bam, keep running the ball. I'm just going to give him a headache and teach him a lesson, but on 2nd and 10, I absolutely got burned, and he took it all the way to the crib, and they absolutely nailed the ball, and we going with our 3rd L of the season. The Avalanche is the game off with 5 total tackles and 1 interception. Loss after loss after loss after loss is kind of steering Avalanche Badookie 11th away. He might just transfer after this season, but he's going to put up great stats as he can, but bam, oh my God. Every single game, Avalanche is giving it all he got. His teammates is just not helping him out, but this time, it was kind of on Avalanche. He wasn't in his own, and this kid took it all the way for 6, but I think he's just getting kind of frustrated with himself. The defense is totally just falling apart, and on 2nd and 4th, bam, oh my God, he's going to try his best to just knock everyone out of the game since we have no chance at a national championship or conference championship. We're just going to hurt people. Not by harm, but on that football field, I mean. And on 1st and 10, as you can see, he absolutely runs an out route and let up a touchdown, and we lose another game. He has a game off with 6 total tackles. On to our next game, we now have the record of a trash team, and on 1st and 10, bam, oh my God, we're going against Texas A&M. With them being ranked number 8 in the nation, it's time to put them to an end. On 2nd and goal, they absolutely punched the ball in for 6, and we have to stop them next time, but bam, another big hit from Badookie to 11. Like I was saying, our defense is just falling all the way apart. We have no communication. We have no tackling skills for what? We just absolutely suck. But on 3rd and 8, as you can see, I absolutely made up for it. I said, I guess I'm going to be the only one on the team to make a difference and to get an interception. And we go and win the game. He ends the game off with 5 total tackles and 1 interception. Sometimes Avalanche Badookie to 11 just don't get it with this team. How do we beat ranked teams and lose to sorry teams? But bam, oh my God. Going against the University of Kentucky, they are 1-7, and I absolutely blitz trying to be a hero, not in my zone, and he take it all the way for 6. With Avalanche Badookie 11 getting a pick every game, he thought he had that one, but I guess his fingers was a little frozen, but not in his zone once again. He let up another touchdown. Avalanche is just not having a good game, but bam, oh my God, the team, can you back me up for once? Going out on 3rd and goal and absolutely getting another stop, we will go on and win another game. He ends the game off for 5 total tackles. Into our next game against the Tennessee Vols. Oh my God, I got a good stop behind the line of scrimmage. It was absolutely fired up. But on 3rd and goal, he absolutely found the receiver in the back of the end zone. But on 1st and 10, I was getting blocked up and absolutely missed the tackle. And this Bumbarooski kid absolutely hit the sideline. It took it almost to the touchdown. But I absolutely throw him to the ground. I absolutely had enough. And on 2nd and goal, I don't know what Avalanche was doing, but he let up a touchdown. Oh my God, almost an interception. But on 1st and 10, these trees got an Avalanche way. But on 2nd and 16, boom, oh my God, that's how you knock someone down as soon as they catch the ball. Boom, I'm gonna let this quarterback know who I am. Bam, I'm gonna flip him because he suck. But as you can see, we going to lose another game. He ends the game off for 10 total tackles. We absolutely have no chance at a conference championship and no chance at a national championship. So going into our last game, on 4th and 2, started off kind of intense. We got a turnover downs, but oh my God, an interception from Badookie, the 11th of Avalanche. With the stats that Avalanche have, he's gonna go to a big time school next year if he enters that transfer portal, but he had no stats at that last game. He absolutely leads the NCAA in 14 interceptions, the total of 76 tackles, and he tried to give Vanderbilt a chance, but he cannot give them another one. With that being said, with 2 years of eligibility, Avalanche Badookie the 11th has chose to enter the transfer portal. Avalanche Badookie the 11th finding his home and transferring to UNC, there was only one problem. He was now 3rd on the depth chart, and I was kind of confused coming from an SEC. But going into the first practice, Avalanche absolutely was dropping back into coverage, but he read it like a book and went down and got him and said, get on that ground. I'm going to get all of you and hit you and boom as hard as I can. And he absolutely ran in his chest. I'm not going to lie, but that's all coach needed to see. He said next week you can challenge that next string. On into our first game against South Carolina, Avalanche Badookie the 11th has already been in a situation like this, and it was at Vanderbilt, and he absolutely earned the #1 spot, so he could do it here as well. But sitting on that bench did not feel good after coming off of 2 great seasons. He absolutely didn't like it at all. And South Carolina, they came to play. I was watching our offense struggle, but with our defense absolutely coming to play and getting stops on 4th and 2, I said I got to go out there on special teams and make special plays and special players, and I absolutely didn't do nothing at all but tried to make a block. So on kickoff, I said let me go be a biggest special teams player, and I absolutely hauled it down there, and I boomed him, man. That was a hit. And after that hit, man, coach gave me a shot at the field, and on 2nd and 10, I bent the edge, and that was a great seal by me, but I didn't make the tackle. But on 4th and 11, I hauled it again, and I said, I gotta keep making plays, and I absolutely hit him again. I was out there like a magnet. This time, I about got pushed out of bounds. But one thing about this Badookie family, we are relentless, and he went down there and made another tackle, and I mean, coach was just fired up with all the plays that he was making, so he put him back on the field, and man, I forced a fumble and was fired up with my teammate. But going into the next one on 3rd and 4, I absolutely pissed the bed. I could have made a game-changing winning hit right there and set the momentum for the team, but I just didn't. But boom, I cleaned his clock. I sure did, and made him fair catch the next time. But on kickoff, I absolutely said, I am having a day on special teams, and went down there and made another big hit. So on 1st and 10, I was absolutely reading this, and oh man, I jumped that corner route and said, I'm gonna take this all the way to the crib. With my first interception, man, I about lost it. It was like a dream come true, but coach took me out, and we got the turnover, and we go on and win the game, and Avalanche Badookie the 11th ends the game off with 6 total tackles. After a great game, coach gave me the chance to go to the position battle against M. Allen, and I absolutely dropped my interception, but he gave me a lot of points, and I absolutely hit Drake, man, threw him to the ground, and coach said, man, that was impressive. But boom, I cleaned his clock to win me the position of number 2 on the depth chart. After winning the position battle and absolutely being number 2 on the depth chart, I almost come away with my 2nd interception of the season, so I threw him out of bounds and almost caught a penalty, and coach would have been mad if I would have got that one. So on 1st and 10, I tried to make up for it and send a blitz, and that absolutely was terrible. Being that I'm already a junior, I can't be making no simple mistakes if I want to go to the league, but dropping another interception, I also can't drop the ball as well. In the 3rd and 19, I'm just having a terrible game. I'm getting burnt. But on 1st and 10, I tried to bend the corner on that one, but that number 83 is giving me a hard game, and I'm kind of getting frustrated out there. And on 3rd and 6, I get burnt once again, and trying to meet them outside, they will go in and score. So on 4th and 3, I'm just sitting there doing nothing, but we get the turnover. We win the game. I only had 3 total tackles. Man, that was a terrible game. Going into our next week and having a bye week, it's time to show coach that I could take that number 1 spot. So absolutely sitting in my zone, I came down and tried to boom and break his ribs. I'm not gonna lie, I tried to hurt him, but absolutely not knowing what I'm doing out there, just sitting in a zone, I reacted to that play too late and made the tackle, but coming across that middle, that's another big hit. So coach said next week you could challenge that next string. Going into our next game against Georgia Tech and still being the number 2 cornerback, I didn't have a problem with it because I was still gonna go out there and play my game, but dropping balls like that, I absolutely have to go to practice and absolutely get in the lab of catching balls, and I absolutely got burnt, but I made up for it. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely was in man-to-man, and this quarterback scrambled out. My senses told me to go and boom him and clean his clock, and I absolutely did so. But on 2nd and 3, boom, I'm going to clean his clock as well for getting a first down. But on 3rd and 8, I absolutely stayed in man-to-man, and the quarterback threw it, but we forced the 4th down, and they kicked 3. But on 2nd and 5, sitting back in my zone, I was getting burnt all night. And just look at that catch he made on both of us. But we going to win the game, and I have to do better. I had the game off of 5 total tackles. So somehow you may be wondering, how are you even getting to go against the number 1 cornerback after having 2 bad games back to back? I was wondering the same thing, but I said, forget it. Going out there, I'm going to compete regardless because I'm a Badookie. But absolutely getting back in coverage, we had great coverage there, and coach said you are now the number 1 cornerback on the depth chart. Going into our next game against East Carolina, I had to step it up because now I have a lot on my plate, and for some odd reason, I go ahead and blitz again, making that rookie mistake, and they driving all the way down the field, and on 1st and goal, didn't even defend the wide receiver, man. What was I doing? I was just disappointed in myself. But with my great teammates being great teammates and picking me up, we get a turnover, and that kind of fired me up. Boom! I know it did it, man. I was still just having a terrible game. But on 3rd and 20, I absolutely let him run a slant route, but I caught him and laid a big hit, but that wasn't nothing. 2 total tackles in the whole game. Are you kidding me? Going into our next game against Virginia Tech on 3rd and 6, if I don't step my game up, then my position will be gone. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely clubbed over Rip and made a big hit on his QB. But on 2nd and 4, I came down and boomed him and made sure to clean his clock and said, I'm going to have a good game this game. But on 2nd and 6, I absolutely came over and horse collared this kid. But on 1st and 10, I caught him across the middle and laid another big hit. And on 1st and goal, I'm sitting in my zone, but they absolutely dotted up in the back of the end zone. Man, that was a throw by the QB. I'll give it to him, but staying in my zone, that had nothing to do with me. And this tight end threw him off of him and said he's going to get up that field, and they will go and kick 3. It's 12-23, so I'm sitting in man-to-man, and I said I wanted it, so I went to go get it. And on 3rd and 3, I'm sitting in man-to-man again, and the QB threw it right to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to return it, buddy. So I had to try to bend the corner, but they absolutely horse-collared me. I had a better game. 7 total tackles and 1 interception. Let's get it. On to our next game against the University of Miami. On 3rd and 10, I was absolutely here to strap this kid up all game. This was the wide receiver they talked about all week, and I said I'm going to put an end to him. On 1st and 10, man, I came down and said, no, you're not catching anything on me. Either one of you receivers, boom, I'm going to make sure, man, I tried to clip his ankles, but he got off of it. But on 2nd and 9, he pitched the ball to him, and I made sure to be there on everything. I wanted to be on point on everybody, all I can this game, and I said, I'm going to bring it. And on 1st and 10, they absolutely had a read option. Boom, he came down, and he felt me. I'm telling you he did. And on 3rd and 7, look at him. Watch this. I'm going to come down and absolutely try to take ACL, MCL out. And on 1st and 10, I'm going to catch an interception. I told you there was no fly zone coming my way. We kneel the ball, go on to win the game, and I end the game off with 4 total tackles and 1 interception. On to our next game against Boston College. It was going to be the best game, bam, of my life, and I was going to make sure to leave my mark. And on 1st and 10, I came around this corner, sealed the edge, and laid a big hit on the running back. And on 1st and 10, I knew it was a motion reverse, and I came over and laid another big hit. And on 3rd and 7, I was absolutely burnt thanks to my safety. Tip drill was everything. Thank you, buddy. Now it's time to return it. I absolutely said I was going to follow his block. I went back inside, broke a tackle, but they rallied to that ball. But you thought that was it for me? On 1st and 10, I read this one right here and said, no, sir. No fly zone my way. Came down and absolutely laid a big hit. But on 3rd and 9, you think I'm not going to, bam, clean your clock? You must be in for another one, buddy. But on 3rd and 13, I said this number 2 wasn't getting away from me at all. And on 2nd and 7, I said, ha, 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 hulk the ball. I will absolutely try to turn around and return it, but they are all over it. They are not letting me escape. But on 1st and 10, I mean, that might have been the greatest read in history. I could take it all the way, and I will go for 6, and I was absolutely fired up. But on 2nd and 10, I said I could have had one more. No, I would not get it. He will step out of bounds. I go on and get player of the game with 5 total tackles and 3 interceptions. On into our next game against NC State. On 1st and 10, this QB ran the ball, and he went outside, and I don't know why, because he wasn't going anywhere. But on 2nd and 3, he bent the corner. He must not know that I'm a magnet to the ball. But on 4th and 8, oh man, I absolutely read that and caught it with one hand. Come on, baby. Avalanche Badookie 11th. You have to pull away with that. But on 1st and goal, I'm sitting here and I absolutely got routed up. He hit me with a corner outside in. I don't even know what kind of route that was, but I got burnt. I mean, I was just having a bad game to start off with. But it's 17-31. I'm sitting in my zone again, and will I get burnt? Yes, I will. But we win the game. I end the game off with 3 total tackles. On to our next game against Virginia. On 3rd and 14, I read the slant route so beautiful. I mean, I thought I was going to intercept it, but number 17 was like DK Metcalf. He was not going down. But on 1st and 10, boom, I came over and tried to throw him to the ground. And on 2nd and 14, I said I was going to be patient and try to go grab it, and I almost did. But on 3rd and 1, I had a man-to-man, and I stayed in, and the ball got thrown right to me. Joke, oh man, where is he going? But let's see that again. Joke, oh man, that was crazy. But on 1st and 10, I came down and laid that boom. But on 1st and 10, his QB rolled out, and he just wanted to feel it some more, so I gave him another one. But on 2nd and 12, I was absolutely in the middle. Boom, I'm gonna clean your clock every time. Just don't run the ball my way. But on 2nd and 6, I got a little too ahead of myself. He will absolutely burn me. And on 2nd and goal, boom, I'm just gonna lay the wood then. Either way you go, I'm gonna win. But no, we go down and lose. They kick the game-winning field goal, and Drake May was pissed. The Avalanche Badookie 11th. This is the game off for 7 total tackles. On to our next game against Pittsburgh. On 3rd and 6, I absolutely almost had a one-hand interception to the crib, but I dropped the ball with the butterfingers that I have. But on the goal line, we stopped them and made them kick 3. But we went down and scored. But boom, I came around that corner, bent it, and absolutely laid a big hit on them. But on 2nd and 7, I'm out here getting embarrassed. I think I'm just kind of giving up because I think the game is over. But one-hand catch like that, that is ridiculous. That should never happen on a cornerback. But on 1st and 10, I made up for it, buddy. I absolutely caught the interception. Don't get ahead of yourself now. I made up for it. But coming down, I made another big hit. But going into the next play, we absolutely are up 42-13, so we going to win the ball game. And I end the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 interception. On to our next one is a rainy one. But on 1st and 10, the linebackers wasn't filling the hole, so I came down and filled it down the middle. And on 3rd and 4, I was guarding this receiver, and he caught the ball. Boom! Guess what? I know you in real life, buddy. Jordan Bly, you're mine. Boom! On 2nd and 12, I had a hard flat, and I was trying to bait this tight end up. And man, when I hit him, when I say this boy was top heavy, that boy was a big boy. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely intercept this ball because all of these receivers on ODU are just trash. A coach took me out of the game. We're going to win the ball game. I end the game off of 4 total tackles tackles and 1 interception. On to our next game against Duke. You know the rivalry that we have, and we have to come out here and take the bell. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely missed the tackle, and the quarterback, they always have an Andrew Luck type of quarterback. It's just confusing. But he almost took it for 6, and man, I was kind of mad. And look at that. My coverage was terrible. And on 1st and 10, he bent that corner, and I made sure to get over there to try to make a big hit. But on 2nd and 10, they threw that ball so fast, I hit him, horse-collared him. I didn't even care. But on 2nd and 10, I said, interception, give me that. Thank you. I gave all praises to the Most High. And on 2nd and 14th, I got kind of burnt on my man-to-man. I was trying to bait him up, but the quarterback bent the corner, and I came around that corner, and boom, oh man. But on 1st and 10, thank you, another one. I intercept that ball again, juke this time. I'm trying to get back for 6 because all season I couldn't get to that box because they always rally the ball. But on 1st and 10, not being in my zone, that's the type of player I am. Boom, I want to be all around and make the plays. But on 4th and 12, he absolutely caught the ball, but I hit him so hard he dropped it. I ended the game off for 5 total tackles. Man, we prayed to be here. Going into the ACC championship, man, I started off with a sack, man, and I was turned up. And on 1st and 10, I was sitting in my zone, but I got kind of burnt, but I said I'm going to try to go catch him and dive the wrong way. And he absolutely threw my teammate off of him, and they were on the goal line. But on 1st and goal, I'm not going to lie. I take responsibility for this first score, but I'm going to back it up. On 3rd and 11, no, I didn't. I got burnt again. I was not here to play this game. And on 1st and goal, I came in and missed the tackle again. Oh, man, I'm just not here to play today. But on 2nd and goal, with 8 seconds on the clock, we had a good stop and made them kick 3, but that wasn't good enough. On 1st and 10, I came down and bammed him. It was time to change the game up. On 3rd and 10, I had put my hands up and knocked that ball out. That's no fly zone. Bam, meet that quarterback in that backfield and show him what's up. But on 4th and 20, I was sitting in my zone and came down and said, get to that ground. I'm not going to play with you. But we were now ACC champions, man, and this is a dream come true. On to our next game against Ohio State was a bowl game. We were ranked number 8, and we did not make it to that national championship, and I got dunked on. But on 3rd and 13, I came and almost tried to get a one-hand interception, but that just didn't happen. And on 3rd and 6, this wide receiver burnt me. That was absolutely burnt me, but that kind of wasn't all my fault. That wasn't my whole zone. But on 1st and 10, they got more yards after that hit, and on 1st and 10, I came back down and tried to lay another hit, but they were just getting the first downs. But on 3rd and 11, I was guarding my man, but they were dying up on the other side as well. But on 3rd and 6, I thought I had great defense, but didn't intercept the ball. I made the tackle, and on 1st and 10, I tried to blitz and then fell in the rain, and they will go on to score. I just had a horrible game. They go on and win the bowl game, and we played absolutely terrible. But one good thing, Avalanche Badookie 11th led the NCAA in interceptions with 11. But this is the end of his junior season. His senior year is going to be a movie. Tune in. After having a decent junior year last year, going into the senior year has to be top notch if I want to make it to the league. And not only was I getting burnt last year, but I was also getting ran over. So boom, I have to step that up this year. But in practice, it's like I was reading everything and coming down and hitting them as hard as I could. I was taking all my anger out on them. But coach said you're in no danger of losing that starting position. On into our first game was a game to pad the stats. Boom, against FCS East. It was time to take over and show these boys that I'm actually him. So on 1st and 10, I was in man-to-man and they didn't throw the ball. So I was trying to find a quarterback, but the D-lineman sacked him. But on 3rd and 13, look at him, threw it right to me, but my knee was down. When I say angry, I was angry. But on 2nd and 11, I came down and didn't hit anything at all. We going to win the ball game, and I only end the game off with 2 total tackles and 1 interception. If I don't step it up, man, I won't be going anywhere close to the league. Going into our next game against ECU, after having a terrible first game, I come away with a one-hand interception to start the game off. That was the greatest catch in history. But every time I make a good play, it's like a bad play is destined to come because he burned me. But on 1st and 10, I was sitting back in my zone and came down and laid a big hit. That was a bam right there. Oh, man, I took his top off. But on 1st and 10, club over rip and make sure he gets nothing outside. But on 3rd and 13, I was in a man-to-man, and oh, this might have been the craziest catch. Toe tapper interception. And man, I was just mad I couldn't return it. But on 2nd and 4, I was coming down. I had a hard flat, and man, that wasn't the greatest hit I could have, but hey, that's a better game. 5 total tackles with 2 interceptions. On to our next game against Notre Dame. It's time to start leaving my mark in these games, and starting it off with an interception, man, I was fired up, so I tried to return it. It's time to figure out how to get to that box after catching it, because I always catch it and get tackled. And it was time that these receivers have no catches on me, and I'm absolutely clamping anything come my way. And on 3rd and 11, man, guess what? I was taking that away from him. You're not catching it on me. On 3rd and 7, I gave him too much room. He caught the ball, but I absolutely clipped him and took ACL MCL out on me. But coach sending me on a blitz was the worst decision ever, because they scored, coach. And on 1st and 10, I get back in my drop, and man, he caught the ball. Here I go, letting up a catch. Come on, I have to do better. And on 1st and goal, I let him outside with the score. Man, we had to get the onside kick, or or this game was going to be over, and we did not recover that ball. So you know what they do? They will kneel it, and we're going to lose our first game. And I ended the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 interception. On to our next game against Virginia Tech. I was in my cover 3, backing up, backpedaling, and came down and laid a big hit on this running back. And on 2nd and 7, I said I wanted to blitz, and I would go get a sack. Man, that's a special player right there, man. He is not scared to do anything that you tell him to go do. And I will catch an interception. This time I'm trying to return it, been in that corner juke, and I fumbled the darn ball. Look at this, man. I fumbled the ball, and coach was on the sideline cussing me out. But literally the next play, them getting the ball back. My teammate caught an interception, said, don't even worry about it, bro. We gonna be straight. And on 1st and 10, I was in man-to-man and came down and bammed him, man. I made sure to clean his clock. But I ended the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 interception. On to our next game against Oklahoma State. On 2nd and 2, man, my instinct something just told me to come down and make the tackle on him. He got a gain of 0 and actually a negative 3-yard reception. And me sitting in my zone again, boom, I'm not here to play with anybody. And on 2nd and 15, I'm back here strapping up, and I will intercept that ball. And this time I just get brought right down like I always do. I can never return it. But on 2nd and 10, I came across that corner, bam, made him fumble that ball. Just look how I came and made him flip and fumble that ball, man. That's athleticism. But on 1st and 10, not being in my zone, but knowing that I was going to see a slant route come across that middle, I baited it up so good, but dropped the ball. And on 1st and 10, I'm man-to-man, and guess what? I'm going to intercept that psych almost. But we were going to win the ball game. He ends the game off for 3 total tackles. On to our next game against Virginia. I must have had the bubble guts or something for this game, because I came and straight missed the tackle, and that was just kind of terrible to start the game off. And they would kick 3. At least we holded them from a touchdown. But on 2nd and 3, I got chop blocking. It was like they was just running the score. Boom! I finally came alive. But on 4th and 8, I almost had an interception, but I'm just out here playing like my stomach hurt. And yep, they went to go score. But on 1st and 10, boom! I came down. It's like I changed the momentum. The score went to 31-17 somehow. And on 2nd and 10, I came down and laid another big hit. We had absolutely took over and made them throw a ball up for nothing, because even if you score, you're not going to win. So we go on to win the game, and he ends the game off of 4 total tackles. Going into our next game against Georgia Tech, I was trying to bait him up, and as always, I just get burnt to start the game off. That's just terrible. Boom! I said, no, I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And on 2nd and 10, I almost intercept that ball, but on 3rd and 10, I get burnt again. But I still bring them down. With this being a low-scoring game, I came down and just made another tackle. We win the game, and I ended the game off of 4 total tackles. Going into our next game against NC State, on 1st and 10, boom! I absolutely took ACL, MCL out, and that's how you make them flip. That's how you're supposed to hit someone and hurt them. But absolutely taking this interception from this dude, I just struck out like a lightning bolt. I about took it for 6. But on 2nd and 10, he had a slant route. I let him beat me, but I'm diving for that ball. I'm making sure that they don't get anything on me. But on 2nd and 10, I let it up. I failed myself. He will absolutely take it for a pretty big gain. So I said, you know what? On 3rd and goal, I'm going to come around this corner and try to make a tackle, but I fell on my face. But on 1st and 10, I came down and said, oh boy, I about took that one for 6, but I knocked the ball out. No fly zone, buddy. But on 2nd and 10, that was great defense. The quarterback couldn't even fit the ball in there. But on 3rd and 10, they run a screenplay. I come around that corner and made a big hit. But absolutely winning the game. I only had 1 tackle. Going into our next game, I had enough of getting bullied. So going against Pittsburgh, I absolutely intercept that ball on 2nd and 7. And I said, let's try to return it this time. Absolutely break a tackle, bounce it outside. And when I say they rally that ball, they come with no regrets. But on 1st and 10, I was absolutely sitting in the zone. The quarterback rolls out. Bam! I clean his clock, make sure he cannot remember the next day. But absolutely making another hit. They will go in for 6. And on 1st and 10, he routed me up. I'm not going to lie. Great out route, but I made sure to get him before that first down. They drive down that field, and I make sure he's not getting in for 6. No, sir. On 3rd and goal, the D-line wasn't doing their job. Let the O-line work up to me, and that was just tragic. But on 3rd and 3, he keeps rolling out. Bam! Because of the great coverage, but that wasn't a boom. I just wrapped him up and threw him down. And on 1st and 10, I absolutely intercepted the ball of the overthrow of the quarterback. And man, that's my 2nd interception. I'm just having a game out there. And on 2nd and 6, bam! I cleaned this clock. Absolutely. We going to win the ball game. I ended the game off with 8 total tackles. To our next game against the University of Miami. Bam! It's time to leave my mark in this game here. And on 2nd and 9, they had a read option. I absolutely obliterated the QB. And on 3rd and 10, I was in the man-to-man. I should have read that and went with my instincts the first time and intercepted that ball, but it was no fly zone. He didn't catch it. But on 3rd and 6, not being in my zone at all, but on the other side, this wide receiver absolutely hit the corner. But guess what, buddy? It's a flag on the play. It's coming right back because you're a wide wide receiver. But on 3rd and 10, reading this like a book, I intercept that ball and I see nothing but that end zone, and I could and I would go all the way for a 6, and right there I break Dre Blotted less interceptions record. Man, that was amazing right there. That was a dream come true. But I made another big hit, and on 2nd and 5 I got burnt. Oh man, they will go in and score. It's now 10-14. We have to get on our rockers, but a one-hand interception from Avalanche Badookie the 11th. Man, he came alive. But on 3rd and 8, we let up a touchdown, and it's now 21-17. Boom, he thought he was gonna catch that ball, but I made sure he didn't. And boom, let's hit the QB. And on 3rd and 7, let's get off of that field, and I get player of the game. We win the game with 10 total tackles. On to our next game against Boston College. On 3rd and 9, he had a slant route, but he got too much of a game, and he got the first down on me. And on 3rd and 12, I was reading the wrong thing and let up a big play. Man, that was just the trashiest read of DB history, and he will take that all the way for 6. And on 3rd and inches, look, I just didn't get it. I just kept getting burnt, but almost had my first interception. Then I get pancaked. It's like I'm having the worst game ever out here. But on 3rd and 5, I drop another interception, and I just can't get right. I leave my zone, came down and made a big hit, but that was probably the best play I made all game. But on 1st and 10, I came around this corner and bammed him. I made sure to clean his clock. But we win the game, and 90 game off of 5 total tackles. On to our next game against Duke. On 1st and 10, I clubbed over Rip and put my head in his chest. That's what coach said do. But they absolutely kicked 3, and that was still a lot for me. But on 3rd and 12, I intercept that ball, and I said, let's find a way to get to that end zone. I will bend that corner, but man, teammate had a clipping call, but I said, I'm not going to let it get to me. He ran the weakest comeback route, and I said, guess what, y'all? This time I'll take this one for 6, since y'all wanted to take my other interception, bend that corner, and made him dive, and I was absolutely fired up with my teammates. But on 2nd and 6, having another one, I dropped it. Oh man, that could have been 3 of them. But they absolutely go in and scoring. On 1st and 10, I came down and laid another hit, and on 1st and 10, I'm just blitzing. I don't know why, but I jumped off sides. But I get player of the game with 6 total tackles and 2 interceptions. On to the ACC Conference Championship and getting our rematch. Oh man, I get an interception the first play of the game against Clemson. Man, it's time to take them down, and this time I was taking it all the way for 6, and man, I was fired up. I was just celebrating down in that end zone, and on 1st and 10, bam, make sure to hit the quarterback as hard as I can. But I just have this problem with jumping off sides because I just get so anxious of wanting to go hit somebody. But getting them back in that backfield, I make another big play, and man, I was fired up the whole game. It's 17-7, boom, coming across that middle. I'm making sure to make my pads clap, but absolutely almost having another interception. I dropped the ball, but they will finally go down and score. It's 14-20. I have a hard flat, but bam, Will Shipley, I'm gonna clean your clock every time, buddy. But absolutely missing this wide receiver. He goes in to score, and on 1st and 10, I had another hard flat, and bam, I'm laying the wood. I know he has a headache. He's gonna be hurting tomorrow, but not in my zone. I'll let up a crazy catch, but guess what? I will win the game-winning interception. It's just like the Seahawks and those Patriots, but I go ahead and break the interception record with the last interception of the season to go win us that ACC Conference Championship, and man, we did it once again. But we had some great news. Avalanche Badookie the 11th will be declaring for that NFL draft, but drop in the comments down below if you really think he's going to get drafted.